see it as a privilege. That's the P word they should be looking at, not power, but privilege. That we get to evaluate that you affect the fact that you affect so many young ladies' lives, and you don't even understand how that affects us on a personal level is a travesty.
Yeah, you dropping nuggets. You dropping some nuggets. But I'm gonna tell you what Corey said, right? I'm gonna give you, and then and I'm gonna tell you what
Oh my,
BC said.
let me tell me what Corey said, because you know that's my bestie. So
I
we
know
probably
you,
speak
Corey,
the
go
same
back.
tone.
Corey equivalents it to why should it's almost like why should men be telling a woman what to do with her body? Why should men be able to tell women what to do with their body? And now they're in women's basketball telling women's basketball what to do. He equivalented to
How I
that.
feel.
He said,
Yeah.
okay, why they tell? He said that's the equivalent that he looks at it
And
as.
I'm not saying that they don't do a good job. Let's keep
Oh,
it,
that
because they'll get the wine. And you said no. What I'm saying is, why not have a couple of women involved in the process?
yeah.
They don't do a bad job. Now, do I think they do a great job? And they know that. I just don't say anything. But
I got you.
it doesn't mean that you can't involve a woman. You know, it's certain things that we see. Like, do you understand that sometimes when they have a bad game, do you understand what a cramp feels like? I told my assistant the other day. He said, I don't know nothing about it. I said, well, stand right there. I'm gonna take this belt and I'm gonna just beat you in your stomach. Tell me how you feel and see what you can do. You
See if
know,
you can play this.
right? Or why are they acting like there's some things you just don't know, but you
No,
think you know. And
that's
and
what's
he'll
up.
tell me, well, I just be telling him to suck it up. Let me hit you in your stomach with this belt, and just continue. And you try to run while I'm hitting you in the stomach with this belt. Let me see
Okay.
how you feel.
Well,
You know,
give it to them. Let them know that part of it. But I do believe in some capacity that that there should be some young lady, sharp lady in there helping them out,
one
giving them another
thousand.
view, giving them another view of it. Not just and when she gets there, don't try to bully her and bully
Well,
her
here's the other
decisions.
thing. If you think we're not ready, why are you not training them?
Ooh. Ooh, I got you. Well, let me tell you what BC said. Boy, his problem, he didn't really have a problem with it. He just feels that women's basketball is in a great space right now, and that there are some powerful women in their under age 25 that are in this space, like Abumake, what's a girl from Tennessee, Andrea, and those ladies, and as he mentioned a few other ladies, that they're in the space and they're making their move in that area, and that's helping women's basketball go bigger and bigger from that perspective. They're being seen. And I said, okay, I get that, but we're talking club ball, EYBL, 3SSB, Under Armour. There's not enough women representation down there. But he feels that the bigger picture is that those ladies in those positions are doing bigger things. And I equivalent that to, I don't think you can get them to come do it anywhere. They're making some, just keep it real. They're making some good
No, I
money,
mean,
and they're not going to turn around and come do some
right.
other stuff.
Well, I mean, you have Tanisha Benson. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She's extremely thorough. You have other women that understand what it's supposed to look like.
Drop some names on them, because we're going to post it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I think Tanisha is amazing. You have some other women that understand it from a totality. And again, if they don't quite do it the way you think it should be done, why aren't you training them?
There we go.
Because at the end of the day, for as well as McNutt is doing, as well as Andrea Carter from Andrea Carter, Agumake, as well as they're doing, that's just one section. I don't see it. I see a lot of men in that position too, but I also see men doing evaluation. I also see men doing other things. So why can't we have more women in this? Just because people have finally figured out what I've known all my life, women are amazing and women's sports are better.
Oh, it's blowing up. It's even
great. But I've known that all my life, even when it was a niche. Now it's the cool thing to do, and that's okay. Because I feel like I help make it cool. I help it like, hey, we could still, you see my nails, wear nails, they're a little loud today, but we can still do our nails, we can still do our toes, and I can still coach my behind off.
Yeah.
Oh, so now you're telling me women can't evaluate? That's
you're keeping it real, and this is the type of show that you and when I asked you to come on, you was like, you might not want me on because I'm gonna keep it real, and you are, and that's what some of these people in position to make these decisions need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
and not take it personal,
Right.
you know, and not take it personal. They're just trying to uplift the game of
Mm-hmm.
women's basketball. So that's what that is. I'm glad we touched bases on that. So, and on the tournament circuit, you doing what, a couple tournaments a year too, right?
Yeah, just a couple, not many. I do tournaments because we're good at doing them.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps our program. But I don't do it to, buy horses, buy $1 million house. I do it to give back to the young ladies. Because the communities that I come from, I hear what some people charge their kids, and I get it. But my parents, they're struggling to pay the light bill. They're struggling to make sure that they're sending kids on the road with $20. I got to make sure they eat.
Mm-hmm.
So I do it because I have to, in a sense, to help them out. But I don't do it to try to make that the main thing. Because people say, "Kim, run more tournaments." That'll take away from what I love, coaching.
Mm-hmm.